You didn't plan to start your morning with Jungkook's voice echoing through the hallway, but that's how it always went. Somehow he managed to find you, provoke you, and ruin your peace before the first bell even rang. Move, you said, trying to walk past him. But Jungkook leaned one shoulder against the locker, that smug half smile on his face. What? No good morning? That's rude, even for you. You rolled your eyes. Some of us don't enjoy starting the day with sarcasm. Then stop giving me reasons to use it, he shot back. You glared at him, clutching your books tighter. What did I even do this time? He smirked, lowering his voice just enough to make it sound personal. You smiled at Mino yesterday. Your heart skipped. What? You were watching? I don't have to watch, he said, pushing off the locker. Half the school saw him trying to flirt with you, though you were smarter than that. Anger flared instantly. You don't get to talk about smart choices, Jungkook. You literally got detention for punching someone last week. He stepped closer and the air thickened. Yeah, I punch people who deserve it. You refuse to back down. You think everyone deserves it, except yourself. His jaw flexed, his dark and unreadable. You think you know me? You swallowed hard. I know your type. He laughed, low, sharp. Then tell me what's my type. Arrogant, controlling, thinks the world bends for them. He leaned in until his breath brushed your cheek, and yet you're still standing here arguing with me instead of walking away. You froze, your heartbeat stumbled over itself. You hated that he was right, that no matter how much you told yourself you despised him, something about him kept pulling you back, like gravity that didn't ask for permission. Maybe I just like watching you lose control, you said quietly. That made his smirk falter just for a heartbeat. Then he tilted his head, eyes softening, voice dropping lower. Careful, sweetheart. You keep saying things like that, and I must start thinking you actually. The bell rang before he could answer. You shoved past him, muttering, in your dreams. A chuckle followed you down the hallway. Every night, sweetheart. The tension didn't fade, not even after you sat down in class. Your stomach was still tight with leftover adrenaline. You tried to focus on teacher's voice, but every time you turned a page, you could feel his stare from across the room. Then Mina slid into the empty seat beside you. Hey, he whispered, grinning. Rough morning. You gave a small smile, trying to ignore the heat still crawling up your neck. You could say that. Mino leaned closer. Let me guess, Jungkook again? You hesitated, then sighed. He's just thinks he owns you. Mino finished smoothly. Yeah, that's his thing. He has got a problem with control. You laughed softly, more out of relief than agreement. You noticed too? Everyone does. His tone was calmer, teasing. He acts like he doesn't care. But the second someone talks to you, he snaps his fingers. Boom. Angry Jungkook. You tried not to smile, but it slipped out anyway. Guess I'd bring out the worst in him. Mino's eyes glimmered. Maybe you just bring out emotion. That's rare for him. You shifted slightly as he leaned in closer, just enough that his shoulder brushed yours. You froze, unsure whether to move or not. It didn't feel right, but you didn't want to make it awkward either. Then you caught Jungkook's gaze. He was sitting 2 rows back, his pen unmoving in his hand. Eyes locked on the two of you. His jaw was tight, expression unreadable, but the storm in his stare said enough. Mino kept talking, his voice low. You shouldn't let him mess with your head. Guys like him only care when it's convenient for them. You forced a laugh, trying to ignore Jungkook's eyes burning in your skin. Maybe you're right. Mina smiled, brushing your hair from your shoulder in an almost casual gesture. That was the moment Jungkook's pen snapped in half. You heard it, the sharp crack, and turned just in time to see him throw the broken piece into the bin. His gaze met yours again, darker now. You looked away, heart pounding. For the rest of the period, you pretended to listen, but your focus was gone. You could feel Jungkook's tension from across the room like a live wire. Every time Mina leaned a little closer, Jungkook's hand tightened on his desk. Every time you laughed, his jaw clenched harder. When the bell rang, you grabbed your bag fast, trying to escape the storm before it broke. But Jungkook's voice caught you at the door. Wine. You froze, turned. His tone was low, almost calm, which somehow made it worse. Stay away from him. You folded your arms. You don't get to tell me what to do. I'm not telling you, he said, stepping closer until the space between you vibrated. I'm warning you. You glared up at him. And why do you care? His jaw tightened. Because I know what kind of person he is. Then maybe you should focus on fixing what kind of person you are, you said sharply. You didn't wait for his answer. You walked out, heart racing, his stare burning into your back the whole way down the corridor. You didn't see the way his hand trembled as he punched the locker beside him quietly once, like he was trying to fight something much bigger than anger. Something that sounded a lot like love. The sky was already breezing into evening when you finally gave up, pretending you didn't care. Your phone screen glowed against the half-lit classroom. Rooftop, 10 minutes, we need to talk. You stared at the message a long time before pressing send. Maybe you just wanted to end the argument, maybe you wanted to prove that he still cared. Either way, the message went out. And you sat there listening to the rain start against the windows. You climbed the stairs to the rooftop, wind whipping through the open corridor, every step echoing like a heartbeat. The air smelled of wet concrete and metal. You waited. 1 minute, 2, fine. The door creaked open, but it wasn't Jungkook. Hey, Mino said, stepping through, shaking the water from his hair. You texted him, right? He told me you were up here. Thought I would check in first. Something in his smile made your pulse falter. I was waiting for Jungkook, you said lowly. He's not coming. He told me he doesn't want any more drama. His tone was too casual, his eyes too sharp. He stepped closer. You backed away. Mino, I think you should. He kept talking over you, voice dropping lower, words slick and heavy. You tried to laugh it off to keep space between you, but the wind stole your voice. He moved closer again this time. He pulled you closer by your waist, while his lower lip in a way. What are you doing? Leave me. You tried to fight back, but his sudden touch scared you, even lost strength to push him back. Your breath caught, you froze, tears started filling your eyes because girls doesn't like when other men touch us, except her loved man. Don't, you managed, but it came out small, fragile. Then the door slammed open. Get your hands off her. Jungkook's voice cracked through the storm like thunder. Before you could even turn, he was already there, eyes wide, jaw set, his fury the only thing louder than the rain. Mino immediately left you and you ran to Jungkook immediately and hugged him and cried silently on his chest, which made Jungkook's heart break. Mino's smirk vanished. Relax, man, we were just. Before he could finish his words, Jungkook hit him. Not once, not twice, just one solid punch that sent Mino stumbling back into the railing. The sound of impact echoed off the concrete walls. You gasped, pressing your hand to your mouth. But he couldn't. He grabbed Mino by the collar, shaking him hard enough to rattle the air. You think you can touch her? You think I wouldn't find out? Every word came out like a growl, raw and low, his control hanging by a thread. Mino sputtered, half choking. You are insane. Try it again, Jungkook hissed. Look at her again, and I swear you will regret breathing. For a long second, no one moved. Then Jungkook shoved him back, releasing him with disgust. Mino stumbled towards the door, muttering curses, clutching his face. When the metal door slammed behind him, the world fell silent again. You were shaking. The rain started to fall harder, soaking both of you. Jungkook turned towards you slowly, chest rising and falling, blood mixing with water on his knuckles. Wine. You stepped back, voice trembling. You didn't have to. Yes, I did. He said, cutting you off. You called me, you needed me. I didn't think you would actually. He ran a hand through his wet hair, looking at you like he was trying to hold himself together. You think I would ignore you after everything, after seeing him near you all week? His voice cracked on the last word. You stared at him, water blurring your vision. You always act like you hate me. I wish I did, he muttered, half laughing, half aching. Would make this a lot easier. You frowned. What are you talking about? He took a step closer. You drive me insane, Wine. You talk back. You never listen. You make me want to punch walls just to stop thinking about you. Another step, but then you smiled and I forget how to breathe. You looked down, shaking your head, tears mixing with rain. You are only saying this because you are angry? I have been angry for months, he said quietly. Angry because I can't stop caring for you. The words hung between you, electric and fragile. He was close enough now that you could see the raindrops clinging to his lashes, the bruise already blooming on his jaw. You shouldn't have had to face that, he said, softer now, not alone. You swallowed hard. You scared me. I know, he whispered. I scare myself too. For a moment neither of you moved. The city stretched out below, lights blurring through the downpour. Then he reached for you, slowly giving you every chance to step away. You didn't. His hand brushed your cheek, thumb raising the rain from your skin. You are shaking, he murmured. So are you, you said. He smiled faintly, guessed we are both a mess. You exhaled a small laugh that broke into a sob. Why do you care so much? Because I don't know how not to. Something inside you cracked open, all the anger, the walls, the months of fighting gone. You leaned into him, forehead resting against his chest, and felt his arms circle around you, strong and trembling. He held you there in the rain, whispering your name like an apology. I thought hating you would make it stop, he said. But it only made me realize how much shy. He stopped himself, breath catching. You looked upset. His eyes met yours, raw and unguarded. How much I need you. The words were almost lost in the storm, but you heard them. Every syllable settled somewhere deep inside. You reached up, fingers brushing his soaked hoodie, and for once he didn't pull away. His hand slid behind your neck, gentle, protective. The distance between you disappeared. No words, no noise, just the ring, the heartbeat, and the quiet understanding that whatever this was, it wasn't hatred anymore. When you finally spoke, your voice was barely a whisper. You came? He smiled against your hair. Always will.